The Department of Public Safety manages the operations for the divisions of fire, police, and support services. A team of over 3,400 dedicated men and women come to work every day to ensure that Columbus remains one of the safest cities in the country. Everyone in this city has a story to tell. Here are some of theirs.
Hi, I'm Ned Pettis III, firefighter with the Columbus Division of Fire. For a lot of people, the barbershop is a place to catch up with friends and family, to have conversations and express opinions. In this episode of Safety Net, my dad, retired Fire Chief Ned Pettis Jr. and I stopped by Al Edmondson's shop to sit down with firefighter Sam Towns and his son, Lieutenant Sexton Towns, to talk about careers with the Columbus Division of Fire. My dad first and foremost taught me that I could count on him, and I always knew that I could. He taught me the golden rule, to do unto others as you would have others do unto you. He taught me discipline, teamwork, and that perseverance pays off if you don't give up. Importantly, he taught me about the importance of family and family values. Today, we'll be demonstrating the importance of relationships, respect, and community. See if you can pick up on evidence of how all of it might connect to being a firefighter.
I remember sitting my son on the fire truck, putting the helmet on his head, farther back than he can even remember. Firefighters are heroes. They rush in during the worst moments of people's lives. People call 911, and they're counting on firefighters to help them, no matter what the emergency is.
What do I have to do to become a firefighter? Am I able still to become a firefighter at 35?
You absolutely are.
Oh, wow.
There
Okay,
are
good.
no age limits anymore, but there's stringent criteria to meet. And in Columbus, Ohio, we have a civil service selection process. And it's important to find out what that process entails and to prepare yourself. You know, I told our mayor, Mayor Andrew Ginther, that after being the fire chief for 10 years and making hiring recommendations, and being the safety director for 2 years and making appointments, I have seen a definite pattern. And nearly all of the successful firefighters that we hire, out of all of them, half of them that we hire are already firefighters. They're coming from smaller fire departments in suburban and township communities. And so it's very important in the city of Columbus to expose our residents to the profession of firefighting and what it takes to become a firefighter, the removal standards that civil service has in place. For instance, you can't have 5 points on your driver's license. You can't have used marijuana within the previous 12 months when you take the test. You can't have used any other illegal drugs within the previous 36 months or the previous 3 years. It's important to know these things. And teamwork is very important. Firefighter effectiveness is based on teamwork.
Right.
Everyone has a role to play.
Okay. So being a part of a great team and being a firefighter, but my concern is, how much money can I make? Because that's important to me. And can I go to school?
The answer is positive on both counts. The job pays very well. As a matter of fact, a first-year firefighter, he spends 7 months in training, and he makes over $50,000 that first year.
7 months, 50,000.
12 months, 7 of those months in training.
Okay.
But for that first 12 months, he'll make over $52,000. After that first year, he enjoys 100% tuition reimbursement.
Nice.
So if you go to Columbus State Community College, Franklin University, The Ohio State University, and you get a passing grade in your courses, you will be reimbursed for 100% of your tuition.
Now, what about benefits, health, and all that kind of stuff? Because that's important too.
Great benefits, great retirement program. You just can't beat it.
So can I max out? Can I make more than the 50,000?
Oh,
Or is that the limit?
Oh, absolutely. There's a scale a pay scale that you achieve over the course of 5 years. I believe it takes about 5 years to reach top pay. Will be nearly $80,000 a year, approximately $77,000 after you have 5 years of service on.
Okay, even the guys that stand out at the Ohio State football games with their hands in their pocket watching the game, they make that much money too?
They make more than that. That's extra.
For real?
Yes.
Oh, man.
That's special duty.
Okay, so what can I do to sign up? What we got to do to sign me up?
Go to www.columbus.gov and go to the civil service link, and you can get all the information that you need.
Look fresh today, man.
All right. Hey, Al, I brought my son with me. I want you to meet him. This is Ned the Third.
Hey, man, how you doing, man?
Nice to meet you.
Good, man. Your pops, I heard he was a good firefighter.
Absolutely, the best.
Yeah, good. Now, I see you wearing the shirt. Are you a firefighter too, or did he give you that?
It's mine. I earned it.
Okay, so what?
19 years.
19 years? Oh, 19
Absolutely.
years? You following in the footsteps of Pops?
Yeah, it was an honorable job to see my dad, work through some challenges through his career and rise through the ranks. It was something that I wanted to follow in those footsteps, just to be able to be a part of something that I can be proud of.
So by you seeing him do the things that he did, he kind of influenced you to want to do it as well?
Absolutely.
Now, do you have children?
I do. 2 girls.
2 girls? You think they're going to be firefighters?
I hope not. No, they're going a different direction.
They're going a different direction? Yeah, but what inspired you other than your father?
My uncle. My uncle's he's a retired firefighter also. Seeing both of them growing up, it was just in our blood, in our nature, in the household. Also in our community. I mean, there was Woody Davis, Lucius Sullivan, Craig Franklin,
right?
Kenny Currington. It was a community of black firefighters that I grew up around. To be able to see that, I could do that too. That's something that I could be a part of.
Right.
And it looked like something interesting and fun to do as a young guy.
Right, right. And what about the health benefits, man? Because it's so important now these days that, we have good health benefits.
It's been a blessing for my whole life. I mean, my dad, he's always been a fireman. I grew up with that as far as health care for me as a child. I was able to provide that for my kids as well, and my wife. It's nice to know that if you get sick, you got a toothache, you can't see, something's aching, you can go to the hospital and guaranteed you got coverage.
Good. Now, who these guys over here, man? You brought a crew of guys with you
being
today.
a fireman is a brotherhood, so I brought a couple of my brothers with me.
So who's this brother right here? I've seen him before. He look like Michael Jordan. He look like Michael Jordan. What's up, man?
See that.
Hey, what's going on?
Doing all right?
Oh, yeah, it's all good.
Bro. Welcome to the shop, man. Welcome.
Thanks.
What's up, man?
All right, good. All right. So, I mean, both of you guys are firefighters?
Yeah.
And what's the 8 stand for in your shirt?
Station 8, it's firehouse right down here on Champion and Long.
Long Street? So
Yes,
you in
sir.
the neighborhood?
I was in the neighborhood for a long time.
Okay. And what about you? Yours is what?
I was at 15 Livingston Avenue near Island Creek
So
area.
y'all in our community.
That's right.
And that's positive because a lot of times we don't see black firefighters in our community. And you're on Long Street and you're on Livingston, so those are predominantly areas where I know you get to see kids every day.
Every day.
Every day?
And that's one of the reasons why I stayed there, so that the kids in the neighborhood could see people that look just like them and hopefully direct them to want to be in a firefighter. Because I know when I grew up, I didn't see hardly none of us.
Right.
And it was tough. I mean, I always wanted to be a fireman when I was young. I went away to high school, up around the Boston area, and there really was no black firemen up there.
Right.
Then came back here after college, and I actually was given a test. Actually, I was inspired by my brother. My brother wanted to be a fireman, and we went and took the test. 9,000 people lined up at the fairgrounds to take the test to become a fireman. That just tell you how many people actually wanted this job.
Right. How many people look like you, though?
It was quite a few,
Okay.
but the fortunate thing was like what the director said, there was a 50-50 list. So for every person they hired, they had to hire a minority.
Right.
Which in that case got a lot of us on the fire department. So we was fortunate to be able to do that. Got to my dream job.
Right. How many years you been a firefighter?
33.
33. So you just seen a lot, done a lot, right?
Yeah.
So what's some of your experiences that you experienced while being on the fire for that long?
I think some of the things that especially the important things. I've been fortunate enough, they speak of being in the right place at the right time, working in this community. I've had the opportunity to actually save somebody's life. And that's really gratifying.
Yeah.
I mean, you see it on TV. The stuff you see on TV, I've actually had an opportunity to do, to actually save a life, and then have those people to come back to you later and thank you. You form a bond and a relationship with them.
Right.
I have people, I know there's a young man that I saved. He was 4.
Okay.
And we still have a relationship. We communicate. I just seen him in the library. I do part-time work at the library, security, and he just came in the library and I just saw him. We dapped it up and just talked a little bit. And I was just asking him if he was going to become a firefighter. He said, no, that ain't for me. I said, well, that's all right, but it's not for everybody.
Right.
But it is for a lot of people. So I'd like to get the word out, let people know that this job is for a lot of people.
Right. Now, is it full time? Do you have time off?
Yeah, and that's I think one of the better benefits is our work schedule. You work 24 hours and then you're off 48 hours.
Okay.
Don't get it twisted. When you're working, you don't work all 24 hours. You're there, you're training and things like that, but then you do have downtime. So some people think when you're working 24 hours, you're actually working all 24 hours. But we actually live at the firehouse for a day.
Right.
The guys I live with at the firehouse, I spend more time with them than I spend with my family. So it's kind of really like a family.
So how many days a week do you normally work?
I work about 8.5 days a month.
Okay.
At the fire department.
Eight what?
8.5 days a month at the fire department.
Okay.
Al, Sam Towns made an excellent point about neighborhoods. And my older brother and I were fortunate enough that we both worked at Station 18 on the corner of Windsor and Cleveland Avenue. And we had a great time. I'd do my 24 hours, and the next morning as I was getting off, he was coming on. And we just had a great time. We went to school in the Linden area, graduated from Linden McKinley, joined the fire department, and got to help serve and protect our own neighborhood.
Right. And then by you growing up, going to school, and you came back to your neighborhood to help your neighborhood. And that's what we need to see more of in our community. Just like me, I started my barbershop, went away. Came back to my neighborhood because I wanted to work with the people in the neighborhood. And now you got, did you just get out of high school? You got a young guy here.
One more important thing I think that people really need to understand about our community, the people in our community, and is one of the things that I was challenged with, is having kids early. And having to find a way to take care of my family.
Right.
I went to college, but still trying to find a job that would take care of my family.
Right.
And with the fire department, it takes care of all of that.
Right.
A lot of us end up in the hole, meaning in the red, going to college, have to pay, the money, tuition.
Right.
So you end up in the hole trying to take care of family. Here, you're getting paid as much as people with college degrees, if not more, without having to pay for tuition.
Right.
So you don't start in the hole. And it was an opportunity for me to take care of my family, send some through college, some get on the fire department, and have, like he said, great insurance. I don't know of a better way to do it. I've told guys it's the best job in the world. When you look at everything involved, especially for people who want to raise a family or the ones who've already have a family, can't do no better.
Now you got the young guy. You just graduated? It looked like
Not
you
too
just
long
graduated
ago.
high school, didn't he?
Not too long ago.
Yeah, not too long ago.
So I kind of grew up when I was a young child. Obviously, this is my father, so he was on the fire department. I always thought it was a cool job. I think I enjoyed going to the firehouse as a kid. It was probably one of the most fun things I like to do. A lot of kids wanted to play in the neighborhood. A lot of kids wanted to go to camp. I just wanted to go to firehouse.
Right.
And all the guys treated me there, no matter if they were black, white, female, male. They all treated me like I was almost a part of the team. So obviously, as I went away to college, I kind of tried the college thing, and it was fun, but I always remembered in the back of my head, man, going to the fire station was a blast. So obviously, I came out, took the test, which gave me the opportunity to see, man, I ain't the only person that think this is cool.
Right.
There's a lot of other people that took the test with me, and I was fortunate enough to actually score high on the test and go through the training academy where I learned, man, this is probably one of the best training academies in the country.
Right.
One of the longest training academies in the country too. But the experiences I've had on the fire department, all the people I got to meet, and the people I got to help, just still amazes me to this day.
Right.
A lot of people I see, they say the same thing that you said. Man, you're young, but hey, the city of Columbus gives us this opportunity. The age requirement is only 18 years old. You can take the test when you're 18, which is almost amazing that with just a high school diploma and a driver's license, you can take a test and get a job this is good. I mean, it's just almost unbelievable. You got a recruitment department that's working very hard. They even got a number you can text now. If you text 474747 and just text JoinCFD. And then that way, anytime we'll have any type of recruitment event or any information that you should know about getting on the fire department, they'll send that information to you.
Right.
We have some events that even show you, hey, what it's like to be a firefighter. So you can come and spray water off the hose. You can come and pick up a chainsaw. You can put on the fire gear. You can breathe actually air out the air bottle. So a lot of things are changing nowadays, but the job, man, I can't really describe it to you in a short period of time.
Right, man. I think it's just so great to see the firefighters in the neighborhood, because when we do neighborhood nights or National Night Out, is that the firefighters are out here in our community and they get to do the smokehouse, I think, that you bring out. And that was a good experience for the kids to get that, introduced to being a firefighter, and also coming by and having good role models like your father and these young men right here in the neighborhood, because we have to see more of that in our neighborhood to influence our young men that are out here in our community and stuff. And then it's always the son is always good to be close to his dad, because I got boys too, and the stuff I've done, they experience and they're doing it right now, and that's something real positive. If it wasn't for the money, what are some other rewarding things about being a firefighter?
In 1990, a national award for rescuing, a family, some babies. And it's just not the monetary thing, it's the fact that I actually made a difference in a whole family's life. I used to tell, the kids, women can have babies, men can't. But when you can save a life, that's as close as it comes to having a baby, is to protect somebody's life and even their property. I don't know, they say, I don't know about now, that I was probably the most decorated firefighter.
He still is. Don't let him fool you.
But part of that also is believing and trusting in the guys that you work with.
Right.
There are some things that I would say that I would do that now they call me a hero. I think all firefighters are heroes. But to walk out in the community over here where I live at, and the people to recognize me actually as a hero, and to have new firefighters come on and want to hear about things that I've done. That means more to me than the money. The money took care of my family.
Right.
But what's taking care of that inner part of me is hearing these things from other people. That what I did actually made a difference in other people's lives.
And they appreciate you.
Yeah, really.
They appreciate, because we like to feel appreciated.
And it gives the other firefighters something to look forward to.
Other than fighting fires, what are some other things that you can do inside the fire department?
Wow.
So fighting fires was...
That's all I wanted to do.
That's mostly, I feel like most of the people who go in the fire department now, that's all we want to do is fight fires. But as you look at over the years, the amount of fires happening has declined, and now the city of Columbus, we do a lot of EMS, which is emergency medical services. So we do a lot of the EMS calls. I would say 85% of our calls daily are EMS calls. Right now in the city of Columbus, we're averaging about 500 911 calls going through the fire department. And out of the 500, probably 80% of those are dealing with some type of medical emergency.
Opioids big in this neighborhood.
Which is big too. So the fire department's almost transitioning, and a lot of people always call us firefighters. Well, we're not just firefighters. We're firefighters, EMTs, we're firefighter paramedics. Some of us are firefighter bomb technicians. Some of us are firefighter investigators. I mean, some of us, as my father, is a 911 dispatch fire alarm operator. So we do a lot more than just fight fires, and some people don't realize that. Once you get on the Columbus Division of Fire, you can go many places.
Yeah, Al, the Towns has made some excellent points, and another aspect of the fire service is the opportunity for upward mobility. The rank structure in the Columbus Division of Fire is you move from firefighter. If you choose, you can move up to lieutenant, captain, battalion chief, deputy chief, assistant chief, and fire chief. And it's important to note, in making a difference, I became the highest ranking firefighter, African-American firefighter, in 1993 when I made battalion chief. I learned that Herman Harrison was the only African-American assistant chief in the history of the fire department. The fire department was organized in 1822. In 1959, he became an assistant chief. No other African-American ever held that rank before. So I made it my goal. I wanted to accomplish that too. I never expected or never dreamed to become the fire chief. Wow. And I became the fire chief 180 years after the fire department was formed, the first African-American fire chief in Columbus in 2002, and I retired in 2012. These things are important, and I say that because I was inspired by the first African-American police chief, James G. Jackson, and he became the police chief in 1990, and that just fascinated me, and I thought, wonder if I can do that on the fire department. And so our young people need to take on the challenge of making a difference. You'll hear the mayor and other leaders talking about diversity and inclusion. And so we need to improve diversity on our fire department. We have a little over 100 minorities on the fire department. Our city is 36% minority. We should have over 500 minorities on the fire department. So we have work to do, and inclusion means part of management. We need minority captains and battalion chiefs and deputy chiefs, assistant chiefs, and another African-American fire chief someday. Not everybody's cut out to be a firefighter or a police officer, but for those who are, it's a very rewarding career.
Right. Now, let me ask you this. Do you have honorary? Because I'm not going to join the fire department. Can I be an honorary fire department fireman? I get a T-shirt, you just put one on at Station 1. So, you know.
Well, we don't have volunteers, but what is it that we train others?
So we don't have volunteers, because a lot of other fire departments in the country, they actually volunteer. So they do the job so much because they know it's a need for the job that they volunteer. Right. Versus here, the city doesn't allow us. But the city does have an auxiliary program that people who are very interested in the fire service and maybe they've taken the test and they didn't get hired one. And the cool thing about Columbus is just because you take the test once and you don't get on the fire department, in another 2 years you can take the test again and then you can take it again. So it's really, if this is your dream and this is your goal to get on the fire department, there should be nothing really that stop you from taking the test besides obviously not having a driver's license, not having a high school diploma, or something on your background. Those are only true 3 things that can stop you from getting on the fire department.
Do you have study tables available for people that want to become a firefighter to prepare for the test? Because I think that's so important, because a lot of people may have come to take the test, but they're not prepared. So do you offer study tables before the test?
So right now our recruitment department is working very hard. And like I said, if you text that number 474747, and when you text it, text JoinCFD. That's it. And they'll send you all the recruitment events they have. And at these recruitment events, they go over the study guide. There's a study guide for the test. And actually go over the study guide. And if you have more questions or still struggling, they'll give you the times and the dates of the places that, hey, there's study groups going on. And it might not be a study group that we actually put on, but there's a group of people that are working towards the same goal that you're working to, and they're actually offering to help you or work with you to get on the fire department. So that's all you got to do is just text that number, and they'll give you all those events. I mean, we have a lot of recruitment events because we're just trying to get people to know about the great job it is. Right. But like I said, for the test, there's a study guide for the test. So of course, if you study the study guide, you're probably going to do very well in the test.
Okay, great. What's that number one more time?
474747.
Great. I just want to thank y'all all for coming in the barbershop, making sure he got a fresh haircut. Nice meeting you, brothers.
All right.
Come back soon.
If anyone of y'all want to pay for my haircut for me, you know, go right ahead.
I got you, Dad.
Hello, I'm Andy Ginther, Mayor of the City of Columbus. Part of the appeal of Columbus is how safe it is for residents and visitors. Our first responders are well-trained professionals, ready for every situation, from violence to medical emergencies. They are also experts in community outreach. We strive to make our fire and police departments reflect the beautiful diversity of our community. A career in public safety can be rewarding, and we are reaching out to people of various backgrounds to consider joining our efforts. Public safety is a top priority of my administration. Every person in every neighborhood deserves to feel safe.